I lied on my resume and accidentally became a tax preparer. So my aunt ended up buying a tax firm from this woman who was actually a really just a nightmare. Like classic mean girl, older. She's like 50 60s, mid 50s. But she bought my aunt bought the business from her. Okay, bought like 2,000 clients. And I lied on my resume. They asked, hey, can you prepare a Schedule C? Can you, um, have you filed taxes? Now, I did file tax before, but I was working for Jackson Hewitt at the time, which is more of a customer service based app and not really like more, uh, it's not really as advanced as the software I was using at this particular firm. Um, so I was nervous. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because if you are, I want to be of some inspiration to people who are just scared to start, maybe because they feel like they don't have the skill set yet, or, they're scared that they might have customers who, hate the service that they're providing. And my thing is just do it, right? Everybody has their client, right? And if you are honest with yourself on what you offer, and you're not, every client isn't going to be your client, and you have to start somewhere, right? Taxes, I'm dealing with people's money, so that was scary right there, and then having to explain something I didn't understand, but I would have never learned if I just didn't take that leap of faith. And granted, yes, I had an advantage because it was my aunt's firm, but I she she wasn't really, she was around, but she wasn't like, she was the boss, so she was doing other things, right? So I was working with other people, but um that's how you learn. And it's uncomfortable, right? You're going to feel boxed in, you're going to feel nervous, you're going to feel sick, like you're going to be uncomfortable. But in order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. Okay? That when you're boxed in and you're growing, when you try to fit a circle into a square or a square into a circle, I don't know if I'm using the right like metaphor or analogy. I forget the word. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable, and like I said, not every customer is gonna be your customer. Uh, if you provide a service, and in your content you're telling people what it is that you offer, right? Then set the expectations, right, of what they're actually going to get out of the service. Because a lot of times people do want to grow with you as well. And again, you have to start somewhere. That's why they have internship, If I would say, if you are nervous about maybe like doing work for like a large amount of money, because I hear some coaches charging like 1,000, things like that, for their expertise. Start small so that you don't have to hold yourself, so that you don't have to feel like you're holding yourself to this higher standard, right? Charge small, like 25, $50, just depending on what you do. What well, now I won't say what to charge as far as like small prices, because a lot of people don't know. Charge what you're comfortable with for the first couple customers. um what I do is I do a strategy session. I used to do free strategy sessions, but now I do paid strategy sessions for it's like 25 to $50, right? And it used to be free, 15 minutes, but that basically is, that's going to help just to see, just like when you go to a hair salon, right? You might not even have to charge for that first meeting that you have with your client, right? Keep it around 5 to 10 minutes, roughly 5 to 15 minutes. 5 if you can keep it, right? Depending on what you did. Just like you go to a hair salon, they have that consultation. They have to see what kind of, you type hair. If it does take dye, has it been dyed before? Is it virgin hair? I never did hair before, but I've had my hair done, and that's what they do. They charge that free consultation. Do that. And that will set the expectation of whether that client is your client or not. And a lot of times, another tip, when you are doing free consultations, that's going to be uncomfortable too, because a lot of the times you're not going to know if they're going to buy, or if that's going to be your customer, or if it is your customer, say they are, and they don't even like, they're wasting your time. You'll be able to tell after your first couple calls, right? You'll be able to tell in the first 5 to 15 minutes if this is going to be a sale or not, right? But you have to go through them growing pains. You have to figure out what questions to ask. Ask your chat GPT, right? Your chat GPT. Say, hey, what question should I ask in order to like what question should I ask? What's the word? Should I ask the client to see if, they're actually my client? And it'll give you a list of questions, right? So I do taxes. So of course I'm going to ask people, do you have your LLC? Okay. How much money are you making? Do you even need an LLC? So I'm asking, how much money have you made? When's the last time you filed taxes? That's going to tell me how many years back that they need to file. When's the last time you did bookkeeping? How many years back has it been since you actually kept organized with your receipts? Those are all I'm trying to think of the word. Those are all like a call center, like a sales. You're basically a sales agent, right? And then you want to explain the value that they're going to get after asking those questions. And then, do you have any questions for me? Right? I don't think it matters whether you start asking questions first or not. You don't want to seem too pushy or salesy, because I actually started out like that, and I used to say, I'll start out by asking you some questions, and then you can just, if you have any questions for me by the end, you can ask me some. Let them ask you questions first, okay? They called you for a reason, and I know it can feel kind of uncomfortable because you don't want to give out like the secret sauce and things like that. I would say just don't hold back. Just give the people what they want. And if it doesn't turn out to be anything beneficial for you, like say you're not getting clients out of answering questions, right? Like I would say charge small. Charge for those meetings. Okay? Because there might be some people that just are just trying to pick your brain, and you don't want your time wasted. So I say that to say, just start now. I lied, and I worked with CPAs that were asking me questions, right? And I had no idea how to do taxes, but what did I do? I did some research. I'll go to Google and, look up the question they had, or go to the tax dictionary or whatever, or the tax book for that year, and see what answer, get their answer. And I started getting more comfortable. It started becoming more familiar to me, to where these CPAs, I'm managing these at this firm. You have to start somewhere. It's going to be uncomfortable. So my message today is just simply start, and you'll probably most likely be the best one in your field. Okay? So don't put yourself in an uncomfortable position so that you can grow. So that's my story about how I got hired as a tax professional, as a CPA. And basically, look, I'll say this. Was it easy? Did the people kind of like me at first? Absolutely not, because I was asking them questions too, so they can kind of tell after a while. They were able to tell that I lied on my resume, right? But it's in the middle of tax time, and they need all the hands that they can get. And my aunt just bought the firm, so she's kind of desperate at this point too on who to hire. Hence why I got the job too. But yeah, so just you have to put yourself in that uncomfortable situation. And am I saying that I got like a free handout because she's my aunt? Not at all. Okay, because what happened? Totally different story from what happened inside that fucking office. That office was terrible. Okay, absolutely just a nightmare. I was stressed. I was going back home and drinking every night. I was, like that secretary that you guys see in the movies, like kind of like the Catwoman kind of thing. Not to compare myself to Catwoman or anything like that, but like that's how it was. Like I was kind of like, excuse my language, shit on a lot, okay, at this firm. And I was like, is this just my karma? Because I wasn't honest on my resume. And I honestly, maybe it was, but I still did my job. I still filed taxes, right? I still made sure taxes got filed to where they eventually trusted me to run the office by myself. So, you know, but that's my message for you guys today. And I do have a free tracker that you guys can get as well. Notion. I would download Notion. This isn't the free tracker I have, but download Notion. And I don't know if people do cold DMs. I used to, and it works. Some people think it's weird, which I can understand that being weird doing cold DMs. But take a sip of my tea. Just ask your chat GPT. That's my best advice. Ask them to give you a call flow, right? And of course, you want to ask probing questions. That's the word. What are those probing questions, right? Okay. What package do you offer, right? Me, I do coaching. So I do business coaching. I'm not going to ask you for your personal information. I'm not going to file your LLC for you. I'm going to coach you into doing these things for yourself. I'm going to coach you into getting your LLC, where to go to get your LLC, right? I'm going to coach you on what expenses that are ordinary and necessary for your business, your niche, right? I'm going to help you get your books clean and things like that. That's what I feel comfortable doing. When tax time comes, yes, I will be asking for information so I can file your return. But right now, I'm comfortable with which that's how coaching services go. From what I hear, other people like coaches for like life coaches, but this is different. This is finances. So I basically pull your strings and coach you on what you need to do to grow your business. Do you need an S corporation? Okay, well then let's go get your LLC so that you can upgrade to S corp. Do you have your employer identification number? Things like that, things that you could do to make more money, how to track your money. So, and that's what I was really like uncomfortable with, right? When I first started, because I had my own business. I ran my own business in 2023 and in 2021. Now, 2021 was an absolute nightmare because I had bought this course, right? It was like $2,000. I think it was like $1,300, almost $2,000. But I bought this course from this lady. Now she was more. She did taxes, but she stopped doing taxes and started doing sales. A lot of her course was how to sell and how to get tax clients, right? But it didn't show you how to file a tax return. So I'm over here taking calls and getting the clients having no idea how to file their return. Okay, so now that I've done the work and I have more experience, right? I'm starting off with coaching services and just doing and telling you what you need to do in your business, right? How much you're going to be able to save, how and be able to tell you too how much money you can save with your tax strategies. And that's just that learn. So there's a difference between learning how to sell your service and then there's a learning your skill. You always want to try to learn your skill as much as possible. The best way to learn is just doing it. Just like with taxes. Me, look, I had no idea how to file a return until I actually did the work. I'm on the IRS website expecting the IRS to tell me how to file a return, right? And they do, but the IRS website only teaches you tax law, and they say that. Don't expect to come in. Don't go in with the mindset of us showing you how to put it on a return, because we're not. We're only going to teach you the tax law. That's it. So what I did to get a huge advantage was download all the tax forms, 1040 Schedule C's, right? And just doing the work myself. But that software does a lot of the work for you guys. A lot of people were very intimidated by taxes. The software, just like TurboTax, is going to ask you probing questions, right? And at the end, you're gonna know your tax situation. And people think a little too hard into it. The software does all the work for you. I'm not this tax genius, okay? People think that EAs, CPAs, tax pros are like these like math geniuses, and we use basic math, okay? Like, are you smarter than a fourth grader type math? So my best advice is just start. If you're uncomfortable charging, charge a little fee. If you want to do a free one, make it 5 minutes, right? If you're not sure how to take control of a call, because some people will go over that 5 minutes, right? Ask your ChatGPT, how can I wrap up a call and make a sale? Because the people want your help, right? They're just waiting on you to ask. And a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about money, okay? And yeah, you want to offer help. You don't want to agitate the people, because that's another sales skill. I could sit here and tell you guys, right, all the bad shit that'll happen if you don't get my services. Like, oh, you're gonna owe all these penalties and fees, and they charge you every month. They don't give you time to file. They give you time. No, they don't give you time to pay, but they give you time to file. You know what I mean? The IRS will audit you. I could tell you all the bad shit, just like they do in infomercials, which I actually used to do in my old videos. I never gave the sauce. I used to tell you all the bad things that would happen, and did it work? A little bit, you know, but I think we live in a time now. We live in a time where give people the sauce, okay? And because they're gonna find it somewhere else, and that's just a sales strategy. I could agitate the situation so bad, but then at the end of the call or at the end of the video, right, after me saying all that stuff that'll happen bad, and I'm the only go-to person that you need to go to, that's when you call to action. But you offer the solution, which is the solution, but it's not really. So the solution is but you can call me and set up an appointment today. You know what I mean? That was my video flow, okay? But now I've learned just to be, the sales stuff gets old. People are tired of everyone trying to sell them everything. I think people are mentally drained from all the stuff that's going on, you know, in the economy, and then everybody trying to sell them something. So, and I'll be honest with you guys, I think I made more sales when I didn't want to do taxes. Because I despised it, right? And everybody was coming to me because they wanted me to do their taxes, because I wasn't trying to sell it. I was more so doing the videos for a hobby. But then I started to realize, like, okay, you can't agitate the people and then not offer a solution. You need to be that solution. So my point is, don't be afraid to charge for your services. Okay? Don't be afraid to talk about money. Don't feel like you're too pushy, because if you're going to tell people the problems that will happen if they don't come to you, you need to be able to offer that solution, which is you. Okay? So that's my little rant. I didn't want to come on here and like do a bunch of like editing and stuff. I wanted to be very raw, authentic. Okay, my phone won't let me be great. It's about to end right now because my storage is full. So but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Again, I do have free resources. I have a free 1-page tax guide for content creators, and I have a free money tracker as well. It's like a spreadsheet for content creators with all your expenses, income, things like that. Go ahead and download those, look at those, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, what, well, I don't know if I want to say, like, leave a comment, you know. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we are getting into the new month. Again, my name is Lottie. Okay, well, Paige is my name actually. I came up with a little Lottie name, but I never know how to leave these things. I never know how to leave these things. Okay, anyways, y'all, have a wonderful weekend. Bye.